I'm James Spann. This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Wednesday, the 9th of December. After a long night of wind and rain and severe weather, things are nice and calm today. That's good. Let's look at some of the Skycam shots around the network this morning. That's the view from Tuscaloosa. Up on that site at the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse, the winds peaked at 63 miles per hour last night. There's a look at the Demopolis Skycam. The dew point's finally back in the 50s. At one point last night, the dew point at that site was 69, almost 70. An amazing surge of warm air coming up into that big storm system. And from the Inverness Skycam, that's traffic out on Highway 280. At one point last night, about 20,000 people had no electricity across the state. Many trees were blown down. But this morning, things are much calmer. What a storm. Incredible blizzard up north. Down the warm sector, the rain is on to the east. Look at the accompanying surface chart, and the surface cyclone is near Chicago. And on the north side of that surface low, it has been an amazing snowstorm of epic proportion. And look at the isobar packing. The winds are howling. They certainly were howling down here, and you can imagine what's going on up there. Now, they've got winds almost, in fact, just as bad as we had last night with snow. In some cases, over 1 foot on the ground. Visibility is near zero up there and blowing snow this morning. Amazing stuff. And look at the cold air flooding behind that storm. Looks like the cold spots are sitting up on the Canadian-U.S. border around Cut Bank, Montana, 30 below zero. I see a 38 below up in northern Canada. And we're going to catch a little bit of that tomorrow. Notice the really cold air is around Little Rock. They've got 44, but you cross that front, and you got 21 at Fort Smith, Arkansas. Yeah, it's going to be cold on Thursday and Friday. The models are not going to handle that air very well. It'll be way too warm, I'll tell you that. But this morning, we're just fine. We look at Montgomery, 70 degrees at 5 o'clock. Birmingham at 62, mid-50s up north. We'll forecast a high today in the low 60s. That'll probably come around late morning or midday. And then the numbers should start to drop this afternoon. The radar at 5:05, that little last patch of light rain will be in Georgia. In fact, it is in Georgia now. Will be dry today and dry tomorrow. Mercy me. Blizzard warnings this morning. All of Iowa, parts of Wisconsin, southern Minnesota. The hardest hit areas are from Des Moines and Omaha up to Milwaukee, where they've got well over 1 foot of snow on the ground with winds that are probably approaching hurricane force, whiteout conditions. Very reminiscent of our blizzard of 93. That's how epic this storm is up there. And look at all the wind advisories. The whole eastern half of the nation pretty much under wind advisories. And it's going to be an amazing day to see the video coming in from up north once the sun comes up. We've got a lingering tornado watch until 9 o'clock this morning through extreme southeast Alabama, down around Dothan, up to Macon, almost to Athens, Georgia, and all that'll be gone soon. Here's the QPF chart. Now, keep in mind, this counts the rain we had last night. This started at 6 o'clock last night and goes through Sunday evening, and it's got 2.5 inches here. We'll see more rain this weekend, beginning Friday night, and that one will probably bring 1/2 to 1 inch, as you'll see. Here's the 06C GFS at noon today. Incredible cold air delivery mechanism with that southern branch there. Down below that, the surface cyclone is near Detroit, 980 millibars. The big snow continues around Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. Turns sharply colder down into Chicago and Indianapolis and Cincinnati today. Very cold. They'll be falling all day. And around here, again, I think we'll see a high in the low 60s probably late morning before we start to cool down. And then tomorrow, yeah, here comes the cold air. And forget those thickness values. Forget what the model says. Like Huntsville and the Shoals probably will not get out of the 30s tomorrow. And around here, it's a struggle. We'll say low and mid-40s, but that might be optimistic. It's going to be a very cold day with sunshine through high clouds. And then Friday, here comes that next impulse. As you can see, rain back off to the southwest. Some of that rain could begin during the day Friday. But really, Saturday looks like the wet day, Friday night and Saturday. And again, we're going for a cold rain. We'll have to watch Friday night, as we'll be in the 30s, I think, when it starts. But the very low-level thickness value suggests we'll be a bit above freezing. So for now, we don't expect any icing. Saturday looks like a cold, rainy day. And by golly, the model is slower on getting this stuff out of here. There's Sunday. at midday. Still looks kind of wet and cloudy, so we might have to revise that. Let's take a look at the 12Z run, and we'll kind of, for now, leave Sunday dry, but that's suggesting we might need to revise that. And then Monday of next week looks dry, but already here comes the next impulse. And Tuesday, a nice trough sets up, again from Canada all the way down to New Orleans. And at the surface, by golly, another pretty good-looking rain producer for Tuesday of next week. The surface low looks like it's going to go up from Mobile to near Asheville, and that could set the stage for some snow for places like Lexington, Louisville, Memphis, Indianapolis, Cincinnati. Just rain here for the most part. And then Wednesday of next week, a week from today, looks cool and dry. That's the 16th. Go out there a couple of days, the 18th of December. That looks awfully cold, doesn't it? Down below that, the 540 line down there below Montgomery. And remember, with a big snowpack up there, when you see thickness values like that, it will be cold. And we'll check the end of the forecast Christmas Eve. Boy, this is midnight Christmas Eve. About the time jolly old St. Nick will be on his way. Again, that looks cold. Ridge pumped up over the western part of the continent, downstream trough, and the 540 line is down there below Montgomery. So, again, the idea for the rest of this month, it looks rather cold and rather unsettled, and of course no way we can be specific now in this very active pattern. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog, the next video by 3:30 or so today. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.